The craziest thing is that sometimes the loudest place is in our head. I just came to my high school track on a whim, and it's about 9:30. I just got done. I came here about 8, and it's weird to be back here. It's weird to be home. It's weird to visit somewhere I used to come all the time when I was home, and it's just different. I thought the moon was really pretty, but it just made me think about how we are so busy. We do so many things at the same time, and there are so many things going in and out of our head. And just finding a place where you can be quiet. No sound, no music, nothing. Especially no sound. Because there's a beauty in silence. There's a beauty in having no music, having no distractions, just you, your head, and silence. Because when I got here, when I started running, my thoughts were running. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I just drove home today. It was very boring, and my hip was hurting, I was just sore, and I just was well, it's at the end of the day. I love going for a walk, when I was on my internship, and I was you know what, let me just go to the track. Oh, my water's behind the camera, it's okay. And I was it's fine, if I just walk, it'll be fine, maybe my hip will loosen up. And so my hip was doing fine, and it was beginning to loosen up, and it really wasn't. I was just whatever, I'll just walk it off. Maybe if it just continues to hurt, I'll stop, go back home. But then it just started to work out. I got my hips loosened up, and then I just started running, and running regular, and doing a track run and whatnot, and just peace, just silence, just no thoughts, just me in my lane. And there was a really cute sibling. They were a decent amount of years apart. One seemed in high school, and one seemed in middle school, 5th, 6th grade, probably 4th or 5th grade. And they were just running together, and it just made me think about cherishing those small moments that we have all taken for granted, and just having that shared moment of silence. When you are with someone, you can just do nothing. You can do an activity, you can run, you can go to the track, you can do the track, you can just go for a run. And that's what they did, and they were so cute. The sister was doing hurdles, and her little brother was trying to do the same too. And it was just a small moment of just sharing silence. They didn't have any music on, they were just doing their thing, and I was just watching it, and I thought it was the most precious thing ever. And it just made me appreciate, I guess, being here. Because when I was just running, I was oh my gosh, what am I doing here? I went through that experience that we went through together, and now I'm just here at home, and I'm just well, now what am I supposed to do? I'm so used to running mentally 1,000 miles an hour, disliking every single thing that I do, that it's weird to be able to come back and chill, not have to do anything. And it's making me rethink that I need time to slow down. That I don't need to be constantly running at 1,000 miles an hour, because to be able to have quality is to be able to have quality rest, and to take a moment, Your body needs rest. You know, like as an athlete, you need to take off days. I hate taking off days because I'm like, I could be doing something, like, I don't know, I'm trying to get better about just doing like walks or something, recovery, like gentle, like active recovery, but I'm trying to get better at that. But I think the same concept goes for your mind as well, that you also need recovery, but maybe just an active recovery. Maybe go read. You can go read, you can go paint, you can go for a walk, you can go talk with your friend, you can do something that's your mind for active recovery. It's just as silly, it's very silly, but it's so true. And there's an art to being able to relax, and I'm learning that. I was gonna say I'm learning there. I'm going there. I'm learning that. And it's hard. I am a type of person to want to do a million things at once because I see and I know that all these small actions will build up into something bigger. And so I want to pack my days jam-packed with something that's productive, something that's worth my time. And then I know from a week from now, I will have made substantial progress, substantial movement towards the future. But I'm trying to learn that I don't need to do that all the time. That sometimes it's okay just to plateau. Within like anything, I think sometimes that you can take a break, but the deep down person inside of me is like, no, I can't take a break because then I will be behind at something. But that behindness is all in my head and all in our heads. Because there is no such thing as being behind, I guess. That when we compare ourselves to someone else, then that's when we are behind. But then when we compare ourselves to ourselves, we make that standard of where we should be and where we could be. And I think that's really valuable of trying to understand that we do not have to keep outdoing ourselves, but there's an importance of improving ourselves, but not outdoing ourselves. Yeah, I like that. Improving ourselves versus outdoing ourselves. And there's a space in improving ourselves to slow down. Because at least within, like, I know there's certain sports that you like do less a little bit, that you rest a little bit before your big event. So I know that's the same with track. I know that's the same for swimming. I think that might be the same for maybe weightlifting. I don't really know, honestly. I'm not really for sure. Oh, I got soap. It's okay. But there's a time during a certain point in your season when you go super duper hard, but then you reduce the amount of training. I know that's very prevalent in running before like marathons, and that you hit a peak and then you decrease a little bit, and that's like your max endurance, like your max endurance, and then you try to just maintain that. And I think that's the same within our ability to give work, our ability to produce and work ourselves hard, because you can only do something so hard for so long without just squishing yourself, without fully just compressing all the springs together. Because I know within the sport of swimming, there's a concept of like your body is like a spring, and that you want to compress, and then like you reduce your amount of swimming, and then you let go, and like that's the bounce back is you like going fast in good times in swim. And that's probably the exact same thing with the track as well, or it is, yeah. But that's no different than work, that you need to give yourself time to relax and to decompress, literally and physically, and mentally, emotionally, and spiritually too, to then be able to withstand that stuff. Because if you think about it, you can imagine yourself as a spring, and you compress, but then you can release and have a break. And then every single time you do something different, you gain coils, you gain spirals, because then you can manage more things, you can take on more things, and then you can keep growing and growing and growing. And sometimes those compression periods are very long, but without pressure and heat, a diamond can't be made within carbon or coal, something. And yeah, we're kind of like springs, if you want to call it. I just made up that analogy. There's no scientific evidence behind what I just said, besides like maybe the swimming and like sports stuff. I think there is some stuff to that, but like the analogy, made up on the fly. But nevertheless, there's an importance of taking a break. I'm trying to learn, and I hope you can learn too. And that we don't have to keep trying to outdo ourselves, and that there's a difference between outdoing and trying to improve ourselves every single day. Food for thought.